Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're diving into this really powerful story about ambition, about betrayal, but honestly, it's so much more than that. It's basically a roadmap for anyone who's ever had to pick themselves up and rebuild their career completely on their own terms.
Let me just start by asking you this. Think about your biggest professional asset. That key partner, that one amazing connection. Now ask yourself, could it also be your biggest liability? It's a tough thing to think about, I know, but it's right at the heart of the story we're about to get into. So our story kicks off in the super competitive Los Angeles art scene, and it all starts with what looks like a perfect partnership. We've got Sophia, who's just a brilliant, talented artist, and Liam, her business partner, who knows everybody. And on paper, they were the dream team. Sophia was the creative powerhouse, the real genius behind the art. And Liam, he was the charismatic dealer with all the right contacts. They were working on this massive exhibition, the kind of event that can totally launch a career. They were doing everything together, curation, pricing, hype, you name it. It really seemed like they were unstoppable.
Everything was perfectly lined up for this huge career-making success. You can just imagine it. The night of the opening, Sophia's feeling like her big break is finally here. But then her phone rings. It's Liam. He just says, "We need to talk. There's a problem." And just like that, in a single moment, everything is about to change.
So that phone call, it leads to this intense confrontation right there at the gallery. The dream she had literally just spent months building turns into a total nightmare, and suddenly she's standing at a crossroads that will define her entire future. And this is Liam's ultimatum. It's absolutely chilling. He's not her partner anymore. At this point, he is holding her entire career hostage. The message he's sending is crystal clear. Your talent isn't enough. You need me. And he's more than ready to cash in on that dependency. And here's the so-called deal. Liam slides a bunch of papers in front of her. Papers that would transfer the legal ownership, the copyright, of her paintings to him. Think about that. He wasn't just trying to get a bigger cut. He was trying to steal her life's work, the very thing that made her who she is. So this is it, the choice. Does she sign the papers, sell her soul a little bit, and trade her integrity for the fame and recognition he's dangling in front of her? Or does she walk away from her one big shot with absolutely nothing but her principles? Well, in this incredible moment of strength, she just looks at him, tears up the papers, and walks right out the door. And this is where the story shifts from a tragedy into a roadmap. Because what Sophia did next wasn't about retreating or giving up. Nope, it was a strategic move. She entered a period of what we're calling the silent build. So, what exactly is the silent build? Well, it's this really intentional time where you step away from all the noise, you cut out the toxic people, and you stop caring about what everyone else thinks. It's tough, psychologically, because you have to trust the process when nobody's cheering you on. But the whole point is to put your head down and just focus 100% on mastering your craft and building something that is so solidly yours that no one can ever take it away. And this roadmap is actually pretty simple, though it's definitely not easy. Step 1, detach. For Sophia, that meant cutting Liam out completely, no contact. Step 2, rebuild. She just locked herself in her studio and poured everything into her art, mastering her craft with a zero audience. And step 3, reemerge. And here's the key. You don't force it. You just let the quality of your new work speak for itself. You let it attract brand new and way better opportunities. So after this really intense period of silent building, the whole story starts to shift again. We get to see the real payoff, as all that quiet work she did in the studio starts to make a very loud impact out in the world. And just look at this trajectory. It wasn't an overnight thing, not at all. A few months later, her new work starts getting noticed. A small, cool, independent gallery reaches out. Then, pretty soon after that, her shows start selling out completely. And within a single year, she gets an invitation to a huge international art fair in Paris. We're talking the big leagues. Her success was slow, methodical, and 100% hers. And when you put their two paths side by side, wow. The contrast just couldn't be more clear. Sophia's success was built on a real foundation. Her talent, her authenticity, her reputation just grew organically. Meanwhile, Liam, who only ever relied on his connections and sneaky tactics, well, his reputation was trashed once the story got out. He couldn't sell a thing, while her career absolutely soared. So this all leads to this final, just poetic encounter. It's 1 year after the betrayal, and their paths cross again at that big art fair in Paris. Only this time, the power dynamic has completely, and I mean completely, flipped. So just picture the scene, right? Sophia's gallery is packed. She is the star of the show, the center of attention. And then, across the room, she spots Liam. He's desperately trying to network, trying to make deals, but nobody is paying any attention to him. He's being completely ignored. His connections have all dried up. So with this quiet confidence, Sophia walks right up to him. You could imagine he's probably surprised, maybe a little defensive, but Sophia doesn't need to yell. She doesn't need revenge. She just calmly states the truth. She says, "I've built something bigger than you could ever take away." And that one sentence, man, that just validates her whole journey, her choice, her struggle, and the incredible power of her silent build. And that, right there, is the ultimate lesson of this whole story. People can try to take credit, they can try to control you, but they can't actually steal your skill. They can't steal your passion or your vision. A true artist, or really any true professional, cannot be owned. So we have to end this by turning the question back to you. After everything that happened, if you were Sophia, standing there in Paris, looking at the person who almost completely destroyed your career, what would you do? Would you forgive him? Or would you want some kind of revenge? It's a really fascinating question about success, about justice, and what it really means to move on.